Hello guys, today we're going to be talking about why I am really excited to go to Washington DC next year. So you see, I'm going to give you some context here. I'm really smart. As you can see, I'm both attractive and smart. And so this usually grants me a large amount of different opportunities, which usually wouldn't be available to someone who just has one of these traits, as like the stupid blonde who's gorgeous, or like the okay like brunette who's like, you know, like she's kinda average, has like an A cup, you know how it is. I'm gonna be crude here, you know how it is. They're ugly, but they get A's, so that's okay. But then you have people like me who are just absolutely gorgeous, and we're decent smart. I consider myself more intelligent than book smart. I have like C's and B's and A's. I'm all over the board. No failings though. Because I don't care. I'm lazy. Anyway, context way out of hand. Okay, so I went to DC because I'm in AP. And AP in my school means you can go to DC to this thing called Close-Up. It's like a week of like political activities. It's really fun. It's actually, if your school has anything like this, you should do it because it's brilliant. And you might see me there. And as you can see, even though I've been sweating all day, I still like just brilliant. So it'd be superb if you were able to go and see me and meet like a celebrity in real life, right? Because this is my first video, so I'm a celebrity. Anyway, you should go. It's like, was it? I can't remember if it was. I think it was like $200 something. I don't know. It ranged from school to school, which I found interesting. There's been like a school package, and then like the lesser people who decided to go had to pay more, which is kind of stupid. It should be like on a person-to-person basis. Anyway, so it's like a week of like political activities, but it's you and 200 other teenagers in a hotel together with really no supervision. Like they won't, like there'll be people in the halls like stopping boys from going into girls' rooms and whatnot. And the other way around, there are girl perverts. Those are things. Haven't you heard of man-eaters? Probably. And there'll be that type of supervision, and obviously the hotel staff. But I mean, you're considered adults essentially, so if they see you making out, they don't care. So it's you and 200 other people. Now I just got out of like a 6-month relationship, which I was in while I was in DC, which was unfortunate to say the least, because I didn't get to experience being a whore, where no one would remember that you're a whore. So it's like the camp thing, except I don't want to go to camp. So this is like the best like substitute. So okay, this is getting boring. You need to just stick with me, 'cause it's gonna get way more interesting. I'm not a whore, and if you know me, you know I'm not a whore. I'm very conservative. I don't like kissing in public because I feel like it's not the place to do that type of thing. It can be, but for the most part, you don't want to go down the hall just making out. You don't want to do that because that's just not a thing you do. Well, evidently it is a thing people do, but it's not a thing you want to be doing because it's just awkward. Like even if like you're not like a prude and you're like, yeah, totally open to like sexuality. That's awesome. That's great. We way too crazy of society today. But don't make it awkward. I feel like if I can see your tongue and you're not just like really like talking like crazy, then you should probably calm down just a little bit. So I'm not a whore. So I don't go out to like teen clubs and like just go crazy, because I like to take my time. But I think a week is enough to give me a chance to take my time. So I come up with a plan, come up with a game plan. First day, get their number, because that's like the first. Because like 21st century, you need these things. Because otherwise, how are you gonna talk to them, right? You know, I mean, I'm smart and everything, but I don't have telekinesis. I don't see why. Okay, going off on a tangent. I don't see why people think that, like, the smarter you are, you somehow, like, develop telekinetic powers. Like, how is that, like a fantasy trope? That shouldn't be a thing. Just the bigger the brain you are doesn't mean you can, like, send out electric waves, like grabbing onto things. Like, that's not a thing. That doesn't happen. So, that needs to stop being a trope. Anyway, we don't have telekinesis, so we need a way to talk to them when we're not around them, which surprisingly isn't a lot, because you have, like, usually activities end at, like, 8, and you have to be in your room by 10, which is just the worst thing ever. Should be 11. 11 at the latest, I think. 11 would be good. Anyway, you have to be in your room by 10, and then they actually come by and check, so you, like, have to do it. They have to see your face. So yeah, like, at the very most, you usually have, like, 2 hours to spend with them. Which isn't enough for me to get to know them enough to where I can establish that they don't have herpes, and that, like, they're not, like, crazy, and that, like, they're gonna stab me when we leave, or something. Just something crazy. I want more than 2 hours to be able to nail down the fact that they're not insane. And the fact that I want to spend more than, like, five minutes with them. Because, I mean, let's just be honest here. Even though you're going to be making out most of the time, they're still going to be talking. I mean, they're girls, right? Or they're guys. Guys like to talk too. I'm talking. I purposely started a video to talk. I mean, how crazy is that, right? But that's because I want to share my brilliance with the world. And I feel like the way to do that is to do what every other kid does and jump on their webcam. Except mine's not in the top of a laptop and just disgusting. It's an actual webcam. The mic sounds pretty bad though. My headset with my good microphone broke. It literally, like, I pulled it. It's like it wasn't, like, big enough for my just ridiculous brain. So, like, I pulled it and it was just like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. So, that broke. Fantastic. So now I'm using this. Anywho. Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, step 2 is to get to know them, which I already kind of, like, put my feet in. So you want to get to know them, just to establish things, you know. You want to feel them out and make sure that they're going to be, like, totally okay with the fact that you're going to, like, go in, like, for their mouth. Like, you're going for the throat, like, the next time you see them. So, day 3, you get together at 8 p.m. and you kiss, you have this beautiful human interaction, which is the closest we can get without having sex and being, like, totally legal, pretty much. I don't think it's ever illegal to kiss someone. Like, you could be, like, 90 and kiss, like, a 12-year-old and be okay with it, I think. The last time I checked, that was legal. It should be legal. I mean, unless you're, like, kissing their boobs, which is illegal. That'd be like molestation. Anywho, that's, like, the closest you can get being legal. So yeah, you get super close 3rd day, and then the 4th day you get crazy. You start making out, and you do that. And then the rest of the days, you just go crazy. You get disgusting, and you make yourself a whore, because you're never going to see that person again. And that's okay. But the cool thing about... And the reason I said I don't want to go to a teen club and do this kind of thing, and whore myself out... And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to slut-shame here, but it's just not my ways. It just seems too risky for me. That's why I want to spend more time nailing down the fact that I'm not going to get herpes. But, like, the reason I don't want to go to a teen club is because it's not going to allow me the time. Because even though I could possibly see that person again and I could get their number, it's not going to be consistent because I may not have a ride, they may not have a ride. It's just going to be so many different circumstances you need to nail down. And you may not be able to do that. But the fact that you're in a hotel and you have a designated time which you were going to be just roaming the hotel at, perfect. And that's the same with, like, a camp, but like I said, camp sounds disgusting. I don't want to go to camp. Camp's like a fear of mine. Like, I I don't want to be without my parents and be in the wilderness. That just doesn't seem like a good thing. And you're gonna have to. I feel like that'd be way more strict because anyone can go to camp. While I'm not trying to sound pretentious, only like the AP kids can go to this thing, or at least at my school. So, like, they usually allow you a bit more freedom, which is absolute just bull. Because just because you're exactly book smart doesn't mean that you're just this immature mofo. A lot of the time it means that just because you don't care at all, like me, except to a crazier degree. But I'm getting sidetracked. It's bull, but it's how it is, and they're going to be less strict at this thing than they would be at a camp, because camp seems a little bit more intimate in the fact that you could sneak out at night, because it's a little bit easier to sneak through the wilderness than it is to sneak through a hotel hallway. So you sneak out, and then bang someone, and they don't want that happening. So it's going to be significantly more, like, they're gonna be on high alert a lot of the time. Anywho, I don't want to go to camp. I want to go to this thing. Because it's going to allow me to have that consistency where I know I'm going to be able to meet up with this person, assuming they want to meet up every day. So it's going to be extremely reliable. I'm going to be able to develop this relationship over like the 7 days that you're there. So that's why I wouldn't try it at home. Because, and the reason I wouldn't try it at like school or something is because if any people, any of my classes see this, I'm not saying you're ugly. You're just probably not my type. Or you are ugly, and I'm so sorry, but you need to change something. Don't get plastic surgery, because change something that's easy to change. Like maybe wearing makeup, maybe wearing less makeup, maybe change your style up, maybe change your hair, get a haircut. I don't know. But for some reason you're not attracted to me. And maybe that's okay, maybe it's just my taste. I get it, we're all different. It's America, we're the melting pot. But I'm a white guy, I'm like a middle class white guy on my webcam talking. People are gonna hate me. It's gonna be horrible. I'm gonna get death threats, and I'm showing my face. Should have put on like a Guy Fawkes mask. Anyway, okay, so no one in any of my 7 classes is attracted to me. And I'm sure if I wanted to, I could go during lunch and look for people and be like, hey, I would, and then just go at it. But I've noticed during lunch, chicks sit with their girlfriends, and that's the last situation you want to be in. I would rather be on like the front lines of like a just disgusting war, like mustard gas, I would rather be in the trenches of World War I trying to bang a chick than ever try and get at them while they're with their friends, because that's indirectly going to ruin your chances, because they're going to mess with that chick so much when you come up and hit on them that they're going to start hating you, because the only thing you bring to them is annoying conversations with their friends. Or if that's not a thing, their friends are going to annoy you, because, let's face it, you could have the best intentions in the world, but if you're a girl's friend and you're a girl, you're going to be the most annoying thing for any guy ever trying to get close to that girl, just because of your nature. Your nature is to protect that girl, and that's totally okay, but a lot of girls aren't experienced enough, or don't take a step back and get enough context to understand the fact that what they're doing isn't helping anything. So, you know, they're not going to have enough context or enough, at times, intelligence to understand what the proper thing to be doing is. So, you never want to approach a girl when she's with her girlfriends. Now, I could go and scope it out and see if she's not with her girlfriends. That'd be okay, too. But chances of that happening are slim to none, so, you know, that's probably not going to be a thing. So yeah, that's another reason why I don't want to do it at school. And the fact that I don't really want to set up the reputation that I'm, like, easy. I never thought I'd say that. I never thought, like being easy would be, like, a thing that a guy is. But, I mean, it is. Like, there are men whores. Man whores. And I said I don't like slut-shaming, and that's true. But to an extent, you have to understand that it's going to be taboo in the society that we're in. And for a lot of reasons, that's rightfully so. Like, a lot of taboos are absolutely groundless. Like, gays, completely groundless. Interracial couples, completely groundless. Hell, making sex jokes around in public, completely groundless. You could make an argument for intimacy there, but I don't know. If you're making a joke, it should be okay. There's so many taboos that are completely groundless, but making yourself easy it has some ground to stand on. Just, at least for me personally, it may be fear-mongering, I don't care. They've fear-mongered the crap out of me. I don't want to get an STD. I don't want to get herpes. I'm not gonna go crazy. I don't want to put myself out there and be like, hey, I don't want to take down, I don't want to turn off Kaspersky and then go on like a porn website. And it's funny that porn websites are like crazy easy to catch viruses on because it's like an STD. That's actually hilarious. I've never thought about how that parallels real life. Revelation blowing my mind. Jesus Christ, that's amazing. Wow, that is a real life parallel. I've never thought about that before. It is so easy to catch a virus on a porn website if you don't have like a good security. Like, even if you're not downloading things, like, just the pop-ups will screw you. Like, malware, man. Malware is the most annoying thing ever. Had to do a system restore recently to get rid of malware. So as you can see, this series of things is just going to be me rambling. So I hope you guys like and subscribe. Favorite the video. If you thought I was amazing, which you probably did, so I guess I shouldn't even mention that. But yeah, I'm going to continue this series, especially if I go to if I end up going to DC, which my parents said I could, because I'm a privileged white guy, and they were like, yeah, you can spend another $200 something to go on a trip where you're just going to make out with people. And by the way, I'm probably not going to enact this plan. I'm just theorizing about what I could do, because it's come to my mind, and obviously you can't bang there because of the curfew and everything, but it's come to my mind that I'm 16 now, and I can bang anyone. I'm legal. Like, the fact that I'm legal is really weird to me, because, like, I've never thought about myself being, like, it's weird once you finally become, like, you have opportunities, like, say you get a car or something, you're like, I can go everywhere. Like, when you turn 16, you're like, I can bang everything. And you, like, start, like, screwing your couch, and then you're like, I could have done this before, what am I doing? And then you just get carried away. But it's weird thinking about the fact that I'm a teenager, and the thing that teenagers do is going out and making out with everyone, and then at times getting ridiculous and just banging people because they're legal now. So it's interesting, sort of the shell shock that I'm experiencing with knowing the fact that I have opportunities now, and I probably won't act on a lot of them, but it is an interesting concept to think about, that I could, if I wanted to, go to school and make out with someone. More than likely there's someone waiting there. He's like, man, I want to make out with someone today, I'm really desperate, and then I could go and just do that. Because there's these social stigmas against it, where, like, you don't do that, and like, it's a lot of things where it's like, you could do something so just crazy so easily. Like, I could go up to my kitchen, take a knife, and stab my mother to death right now, but I would never do that, because there's these emotional bonds, and obviously these logical bonds that I have that are telling me, don't do that. But, like, as far as, like, the physical barriers that you have to pass by, I just did that. The physical barriers that you have to pass by are really just not really a thing anymore. But yeah, it's very interesting So I'm going to be exploring more of these topics because I think a lot. And when you're a guy who doesn't have a lot of friends and you play video games a lot, which are like slow-paced RPGs and whatnot, you think a lot. And it's going to be interesting. I'm finally going to be able to, because I talk to myself a lot. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I talk to myself a lot, so it's gonna be interesting to talk to myself and be productive at the same time. And I hope you guys find this interesting. If you sat through these 20 minutes, I commend you. Probably no one's gonna see the last 15 minutes of this video, but it's whatever. I had fun making it. If you made it this far, thank you. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you found what I said to be extremely interesting and entertaining, and I hope you can use my ideas as resources when you're constructing your own hypotheses about life and philosophy. So if you found this constructive in any way, I would appreciate it if you would like the video, subscribe, because people forget that a lot. I forget it. I feel terrible because I almost like no videos anymore, and I barely subscribe to anyone. But if you could just do that, that'd be awesome, just so I could get my ideas out to more people. Thank you. Thank you so much, and goodbye. I will see you in another video in which we will discuss something else. Probably atheism, because I'm an atheist. Bye!